The Cheeseboy628 Show, starring Cheeseboy628.
Hey YouTube, what's going on? This is Cheeseboy628 here today giving you another Theory Thursday, this time on OU Trick Room. In my last video, there was a suggestion saying they want to see something where Trick Room can actually be used in OU, and so I thought, you know what, challenge accepted, let's try this out. So this is actually the Cresselia set that Nashplay gave me. I also have a Guts Conkeldurr, a Life Orb Sheer Force Rampardos, a Life Orb Gastrodon, a Trick Room setting Gallade, and a Swords Dance Caesar. Now let's look at why this team is OU Trick Room. So the first component you need in a Trick Room team is of course a Trick Room setupper. And in this case you do see I make it plural because you definitely need more than one Pokemon to set up Trick Room. And you're going to want them to be pretty bulky. Cress is definitely the ideal Trick Room setter. And I also have Gallade because it's decently bulky, although defense side can hinder it, and you'll see in the future how that will hinder this team. But anyway, next component is bulk. And as you can see from most of these pokes can take a couple hits naturally. They're usually known for being walls, except for Rampardos, and I just gave it max HP because you've got to get a few head smashes in plus Life Orb, a ton of recoil, and with max HP you can basically guarantee yourself 2 head smashes. So that's why I have Rampardos really just for a ton of attack, able to get a couple Okos in honestly with Life Orb, Sheer Force, a ton of damage. What's also great about bulk is they're able to take hits when necessary, and you'll see that in the future video I'm going to show, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But anyway, next you want them to be slow, because of course Trick Room works as the slower poke goes first, so you're going to want 0 IVs in speed, you want to minus speed nature, anything that makes you super fast in Trick Room. So you'll have a ton of momentum, which I'll talk about in the future of this video. And finally, powerful. Let's face it, most of the slower pokes are pretty powerful anyway, but the thing is with OU, most of the pokes are pretty fast. So you're usually going to pick Pokemon from lower tiers to combat these faster pokes, which is why I do have a couple pokes that aren't actually in the OU tier, but they definitely work out as they're still very strong, and since they're slow, it makes them pretty darn useful in Trick Room. Now let's see a video as to how this team benefits from Trick Room. Now what I'm going to do is show you how this team works out in a actual battle, and I'll try to explain whatever's in the box in the bottom right. So first off, Trick Room is going to be great for some momentum. For example, I was able to surprise my opponent in the first part of this match by going off with a Magikarp, and it is priority, so he's actually putting himself to sleep. So now he has someone asleep and he has to switch out, and this just gives me some opportunities to set up some Trick Room. What you will notice is that the one problem with this team is stalling, and I'll talk more about other problems with this team, but this is one problem during the game that I had. I was able to stall out the Trick Room from that Dusclops there because it's just so bulky, and the benefit of this team though is Conkeldurr was actually able to take one hit from a +1 Salamence and then retaliate with an Ice Punch. And I will have opportunities to set up some more Trick Rooms, which will be great, because with this Trick Room intact I'm able to take out half this team with Caesar, which is the last half of it, which is great. And like I was saying, it did take hits, for example with Conkeldurr, because it was able to take a +1 Outrage from Salamence, and that's why this team is doing pretty well. But there's also some problems with it, and let's see how. Now like we saw from last battle, Dusclops stalling out Trick Room made it so we lose a lot of momentum. Now this is the exact opposite. This is completely hyper offense, and with Gengar tricking me with going for that Hypnosis right away, I just wasn't sure what to do. I could have just went for the Magikarp, but I definitely wasn't expecting Hypnosis. Now even with max HP, Garchomp is able to Oko my Gallade, so I can't even set up Trick Room. And now with both of my Trick Room setuppers gone, I have no chance of gaining any momentum in this game. And so all that's left is to explain how setup is going to destroy this team. Because when it comes to Trick Room, if you have it set up and something's bulky enough to take a couple of hits while it's setting up, and then it's able to retaliate when it's actually faster. And as you can see here, since Volcarona has the perfect coverage with Quiver Dance, it is able to just wreck the last half of my team and just get a late game sweep in. So those are the good and bads that I noticed of OU Trick Room. So thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Hopefully it was better than the previous videos. This is actually suggested by my buddy Nadav. He suggested that I add videos, and I was actually thinking about doing that for a while, and I just wasn't sure how I'm going to incorporate it, but I think this is how I will. You guys can let me know if there's a better way that I can incorporate it, maybe like have specific scenes. But yeah, you guys just let me know. So thank you all for watching. Please suggest any more tiers you want me to do in the future in the comments, and see you all tomorrow. Like, comment, sub, and until later, peace.